Inside the Cave.
We interrupt this program to bring you this bulletin.
Take over.
On Inside the Cave. 3 Lee Fiddles.
Welcome back to Inside the Cave. We are a little short on staff, so guess who's running the show? I will be your host for the day, the Clees. Roll from the Clees Report. We need 20,000 downloads this month between all platforms. Please share Inside the Cave show this month from all platforms that you listen on. That'll be iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You can leave comments to the show at Inside the Cave Podcast at gmail.com. And don't forget to shop cavecrushshop.com to get all your latest fashions. Men, hook your ladies up with them tees. Get her a Cave Crush t-shirt, women's cut, because they look really, really nice. I guess we'll just go ahead and get into this first segment, which is listener feedback.
Got an opinion? Let your voice be heard. Want to change the direction of the show? Talk your tell us how you really feel.
For real, I might just say how I feel.
Listeners' feedback with Cousin Lamar on Inside the Cave.
All right, hold on. Let me shout out all the new subscribers. And don't forget to hit Sly up in the new Facebook group. Sly, before you read them listener feedback, tell them about the group, that hot group you got popping.
Inside the podcast group on Facebook. Get at us, send us a friend request, and we'll check you out and let you in the group. We pose some questions that we definitely put on the show, and we also send out free gifts to somebody that's officially telling the truth, and the real truth and nothing but the truth. We'd love to hear some of your input, chime in on some of the questions if you feel they warrant it. You want to get into this feedback?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Hit us with the first one.
The first listener's feedback is from Lance. This might be one of CB's friends. That Ayana Ivy girl is sexy as hell. I like my porn stars and women in general taller and thicker, but shit, I'm hooked now. Where was everybody else during the interview? Well, Lance, that's a good fucking question, because where was everybody else? They was quiet as church mice. Only me and Steve was quiet as church mice. All these motherfuckers in the cave, but nobody saying shit. They was probably doing something that they didn't want us knowing they was doing while CB and I was interviewing Miss Ayana. But hey.
I wasn't there, and I guess that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying, you have a porn star? Y'all weren't asking quality questions of a porn star?
I think I did a good job, but a couple listeners might not have thought so. But I probably put on my saint hat or something. I don't know. It's just like, what do you ask a porn star that's probably heard every fucking question outside of the box anyway? Like,
I came in. I actually did dip into the interview. And I was quiet because when I came in, the direction of where these questions was going was definitely above my pay grade. So I just stayed at and I said, I am not getting involved with CB and these set questions, man. I just left it alone.
Yeah. Like, a lot of that was a lot of prep work. It was a lot of prep work, man. Watching them videos, that was a lot of prep work, but I don't know how CB got the time to do all of that.
He's a busy man with many hats. I just say that. Pause.
Yo, Lance. This hand's full. Oh man, I got a few more. I got a few more listeners' feedback. You ready?
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Keep going.
Denise wrote in and says, I don't get men's infatuations with porn. We've listened to you all disrespect women for going for doing far less than sleeping around and getting paid for it. But when a porn star comes on the show, CB turns into a gentleman, and Sly sounds like he gets his pants too. I'm not sure if she meant it like she typed it, but I think I know where she's trying to go.
Okay, yeah, because that threw me too. I didn't understand what you.
I'm still trying. I think she might have missed a word in there. That's about it. And say niggas are so confused, and y'all wonder why women out here doing whatever. I'm not confused, Denise. I didn't get confused at all. And if you heard me on my previous, from my previous feedback for that listener, what do you ask a porn star? That has probably been asked every fucking question ever. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think outside the box. You gotta ask some unnormal shit. Yeah, I asked her about a relationship, and as you could see, she thought that was a good fucking question because she got out of a relationship, you know? And she also likes getting thrown up in the air and jumping off fucking buildings. I thought that was intriguing. Why do I want to ask a woman what size dick is too big for her? I don't need to know that shit.
You know what though? What's funny is that was probably the best question asked about the relationship piece. I would have asked a totally because like I'm not no guy that's trying to take the moral high ground or something. Like I said, I just don't like where CB take these interviews with the cave crushes and the porn stars. I could have been on an interview if it was a real interview. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't want to know what happens on the porn set or, you know, the guy who, money shots too fast. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Well, I don't need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It was
correct her. Like, we know exactly why guys watch porn. Like, she made it seem like I don't know why y'all watch it anyway. Like, I am pretty sure why guys watch porn. Like,
you know, it just I don't know. And then what's funny about the whole
women watch porn. Let's be real. Women watch pornography.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, for the same reasons, but sometimes for different reasons. But
exactly.
not to throw any of the cave crushes under the bus, some of them don't give real strong interviews. So that's another reason why I'm a little like, it's tough. Because like he'll like the age gap, like he'll do the heels on, heels off. Like that's an old head thing. These young chicks don't know nothing about that. Or the locker combination joke. Like, if you got to explain it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I don't know. I did say, since we are a comedy show, I said, where are the cave crushes? We definitely need to bring the cave crushes back. But let's start respecting these women for being more than just models. Let's ask them some real thought-provoking questions.
Thank you, Cleve.
So, yeah, Sly, you are right. The boyfriend question was a great question. How do you date in the porn industry? But you want to hear something funny, though?
Thank you, man. Like that's some real shit. Because she's a real person. Despite what her profession and her career is, she still got to come home to somebody at some point.
Right. And then, believe it or not,
so
CD asked...
That's that for you, Denise. Take that.
CD asked a good question, too, that I thought was very thought-provoking does the casting couch happen in the porn industry? And another good one was, what do all y'all do when y'all offset? Like, are y'all screwing even offset, or do y'all live promiscuous, lifestyles, or is it just on set? If I'm not screwing for money, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I didn't think we got the answer that we probably should have got, but I thought that was a good question too. That's just me.
They might like a trial fuck, like a practice fuck before they fuck on screen type of shit. I mean, it could be. You want to run over lines together. Let's do our lines together type of shit, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah. That was a legitimate question, especially stemming off the Harvey Weinstein type of shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That was definitely legitimate and relevant. At that point in time, because it damn sure could happen.
Yes, sir. So let's get to that next one.
Knowledge. This is from a listener, a caver named Knowledge. What's up, CB and the Cave? Been a while, and I was in the hospital for over the month. Glad you're feeling better, Knowledge. I tried to listen to your show a while there, but after the surgery, my abdominal was too sore. I just binge listened to all the shows and made you guys, and man, you guys are still crazy as hell. I heard your new guy and was like, damn, that guy took my job. Pause. Well, Knowledge, you probably talking about me. And you know what? I'm expecting my W-2s to be coming pretty soon now. LOL to you too, Knowledge. About to catch up on the Rolling Show, and I'll be in contact. Oh yeah, the Black Bill O'Reilly podcast, shaking my head. You still sound like a Republican. See, he's talking to CB. You still sounding like a Republican, but hey, talk to you later. Hey, Knowledge, hey, thanks for writing in. I appreciate everything, even the shit talking, and I hope you feel better, man. You know, and I'm sure.
Hey, Sly, he good peoples. He wrote into the show before. He got like a little website. I can't remember the name offhand. I should have looked it up before we jumped on, but he a good dude. I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad he's feeling better too.
Yeah, glad you're feeling better. Happy New Year to you, Knowledge, man, and get better soon, man. And keep writing in. Glad you're listening. We got another listener, Cheryl. I really enjoyed Kat on last week's podcast. Pay attention, Kat. This is about you. I like her opinion on the little boy for H&M and her thoughts on Oprah too. I am the only one that thinks Kat and Roland sounds like a married couple. Ain't that Roland sometimes tries to talk and correct himself, and Kat never gives in. Sly and them damn questions, shaking my head. Pause. I'm glad you like that shit, Cheryl, because I'm gonna keep them coming. By the way, CB, I rejected your invite to join the Facebook group on my page, but I'm a part of the group on another page. The Cave is so managed. Thank you so much for calling us.
You got a little bit more. Hold on. You got a little more.
Here is something I would like to know. If Kat could only choose between the men on Inside the Cave, which one would she choose?
Oh, drum rolls, please.
It's only two of us in here, Kat. You can't be putting, Kat. You can't pick between nobody that ain't in the group right now. It's only us. I got odds. Like it's even. It's a 50-50 split with me and Ray.
Cheryl, first of all, thank you, because you're my only fan. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you. But no, I don't want anybody. Anybody that I want, I could have had already. So I don't want anybody. I'm like
me and Slide Nudo.
I'm like the sister of the crew. You know, like I'll drive everybody home after a long night.
Hey, Sly, I'm a play cousin.
I'm what she would call her, quote unquote, baby brother.
That was good, though.
That's my little brother. Oh, he just like my brother. Yeah. Okay, Kat. Okay.
Let me give a shout out to Cheryl. Cheryl, before we got on, I definitely want to give props to Kat. I had seen the interview with the parents of the kid parents, and it was a 6-minute interview. Despite what she may have said in her post, they took a different tone. She explained herself, and I actually stand behind what Kat was saying, man. After the hustle and bustle, then at the end of the day, they was happy to see they like 2-year-old. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I didn't notice. That kid's not like 7-8 years old. That was a 2-year-old. Like, I didn't read the way the picture looks. The young man looks like a boy, not a toddler, not a kid. Too. So I can honestly say I don't think nobody really noticed it. And if the mother did notice what the writing said on the shirt, would she stop the shoot? Probably not. And most of us probably wouldn't either. Hindsight's always 20/20. So I definitely give Kat credit for bringing that out. There's some other things we differed on, but that's water under the bridge. But I definitely want to give her props for making that point. And black, dark-skinned people do look good in green.
Thank you and thank you. That is so true. Dark skinned people look beautiful in green.
They do. Absolutely. I
That's
agree.
that's my color. Green is my color, but yeah, all right, that's debatable. That's debatable. Like, well, that's my birthstone color, but like that's debatable. Like, I don't gravitate.
You just ain't had the right green. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Let's hit Kill Yourself and Start Over.
The first segment, see something effed up? The A block. Talk your shit. Kill yourself and start over on Inside the Cave.
What you got? Lie.
I got this diet. It's not for anybody. Well, I guess it is. It's for those groups of people when somebody's trying something new. When CB was talking about the whole treadmill shit last week.
That was funny.
They're walking on the treadmill bullshit. So now I'm on this 20-day detox, full body cleanse thing, and being around family and friends or going out and somebody else is eating something that I can't eat is like I can't eat this shit. I shouldn't even be around it. The temptation is everywhere, but I'm trying to keep myself away from it. So for these people that know I'm on this detox, this cleanse, and they go and order chicken wings and invite me over to watch the NFL playoffs and shit, and then they order a bunch of pizzas and all this other shit, and then the veggie tray comes and it's just celery and carrots in the middle type shit, and I'm like, all right, I'm just all of that is for me, and then they still say, nah, let me get some of that. Reset and start over. Y'all motherfuckers is pissing me off, man. And I'm probably going through all of these fits because I'm not eating any meat and no sugars and all that stuff that I'm used to having in my body. I'm not having it, so I'm going through my little attitude phases right now, and I got a couple more weeks to do. I'm definitely gonna be off of this shit by the time the Super Bowl start.
Kat, what you got? A reset? I know you like to do the reset and start over.
I usually don't participate, but I saw something a couple of days over the weekend that like blew my mind. So there was a guy begging for change outside of the subway, and he was telling people, if you get change, I'd love some on the way out. So I saw a young kid, a kid, 17, 16. He went in, he bought 2 sandwiches, walked out, and handed it to the homeless guy. And do you know this motherfucker did not want it? He was, nah, I'm straight on that. Like,
he wanted that Nutella.
I couldn't believe my eyes because, again, this was a kid. So, like, the kid comes out and the kid is like, ready for his change or whatever. And the kid hands him a foot-long sandwich. Like, here you go. And the gentleman looked at him like, I don't want that. Like, he was like, no, I was just saying if you had some change. Because I continued to move on with my day because, it just made me sick to my stomach, like, to see that transpire. But so I wish that homeless dude, and I'm assuming he's homeless. I'm sorry, he may have 2 homes for all I know. Like, but
it happens too, Kat. It happens.
Who turned down like a kid? A kid gave him a sandwich. It wasn't like some businessman throwing him food like a dog. Like, it was a child who like probably spent like his Burger King check on an extra sandwich for a man. I'm sure he was told by his parents to give, and he gives, and this dude literally left this kid with 2 sandwiches, and I'm sure he didn't mind it. But still, I would like for that person to reset and start over.
Shit, man, you could walk up to me today and hand me a sandwich. I'm gonna take the damn sandwich now. That's just some asinine shit. So anyway, I had a whole nother Kill Yourself and Start Over plan for today, but seeing as though the opportunity to throw my comrades under the bus and get CB, Big Dog, Joe Dirt, Nelly, Cousin Lamar, Said He Said, and International D all a fucking kill yourself and start over for leaving me with the responsibilities of hosting this damn show. At the last minute, mind you. I didn't even be able to mentally prepare myself for the intro. I think CB does an excellent job introing this show, so it's a lot of pressure, guys. I hope you enjoy this show, but all them assholes deserve a kill yourself and start over for leaving us hanging today. And no disrespect to anybody that has some legitimate shit going on. If it's some bad stuff, man, I really apologize. Just kidding. You know, we're a comedy show, but y'all still get a kill yourself and start over. So now, I did have, what's another one? Okay, I got another kill yourself and start over that's more in line with where I was going. Is, as you know, with the Cleves Report, I deal with conspiracies and truth movements and consciousness and all this other, stuff that's on social media. I definitely want to give a kill yourself and start over to the people who believe that it is proper to pick Martin Luther King's birthday to try to call him an Uncle Tom, or that he was an agent for the system, or he sold us up the river, or any of that foolishness. Yes, we know his nonviolence movement was not conducive to black folk. We know that although he made some great strides in civil rights, that he may have been manipulated by his fraternity brothers or some people behind the scenes or whatever. But there's no denying that the last year of his life, when he made 2 or 3 great speeches talking about the economics of what the government was doing, how they was giving out subsidies to white people and giving them land to start farming businesses and this and that. We know that's the main reason why he was killed. We already know that he was killed by the government. That is not in denial. It's not a conspiracy. They proved their case in civil court. His family did, and they won a landmark decision that said that he was killed by agencies in the government that wanted to silence him because he wasn't, it's not like he wasn't being nonviolent no more, but he was talking about things that made some important people very uncomfortable. So all those who feel like they need to try to lessen what Martin Luther King did or try to pit Martin Luther King against Malcolm X, y'all need to kill yourself and start over, because I'm the biggest conspiracy buff out there. And that's just some foolishness. Tip your hat to what the accomplishments of what the man did. Take the birthday for what it is, or the celebration of the birthday for what it is, and take a moment to look on the great life accomplishments that man made. And that could have been my Around the Cave too.
So what you're saying is you don't want people to have flyers of the Martin Luther King busted open twerk contest at the club.
That's some foolishness.
That the Martin Luther King booty jam, shit like that.
That's bad. I seen that. The busted baby.
You seen that, right? It's called the I Have a Dream booty jam. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? Like, I'm trying not to laugh, but I'm like, ain't this some shit?
Hey, I seen the one with him and dude from Coming to America. I thought I was gonna I literally thought my soul was crushed. Like, y'all, too much.
That was thought-provoking and ignorant all in one, right there.
He told him he seen Dr. King. He punched him in the face. He said, "Oops, I thought it was somebody else."
I will say this, that one of the great qualities of black folk is they will turn anything into a party or a fucking cookout. That's what I think. I don't think nobody does it.
No, we love to celebrate. We love to celebrate, and we'll combine celebrations. It'll be a anniversary baby shower. The cake don't know what to say. It just say congratulations, everybody. We celebrate everything. He out of jail. She in 5th grade. We gonna praise God. And all black people have strawberries and bananas in their goddamn cakes. Because they want to celebrate, goddamn it. You better put some fruit in that damn cake.
Hold on, she said the baby 5, the daddy out of jail, and we gonna praise God.
We celebrating. One half of the cake yours, the other half the baby's. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
That shit funny as hell. Oh, that shit's hilarious. That's hilarious, Cat.
Nah, that's real life. I was at a baby shower, anniversary, birthday party, and a fight broke out. Like, real shit. That's what happens when you celebrate too much shit in one day.
Don't celebrate. They say they was fighting over a piece of cake.
No, they were fighting over too many damn celebrations. We don't know what to do. We don't know what color balloons to get. What T-shirt do we wear if it's 7 different parties? We can only get to the house for 6 hours now, y'all.
I'm fucking done. I'm done.
Oh, shit.
Fucking for you.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. All right.
All right, so...
I guess I'll see you next life.
Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and Cave Crush interviews. Inside the Cave. Now that's how you podcast.
Inside the Cave.
Are you enjoying this episode of Inside the Cave? Well, get your ass up and rate us on iTunes. Inside the Cave podcast. 5 stars or kill yourself and start over.
Get the latest in cave fashion at cavecrushshop.com. That's cavecrushshop.com.
Follow Inside the Cave on Instagram at Inside the Cave and at Cave Crush for the hottest women on the planet. Like Inside the Cave on Facebook, Inside the Cave Podcast, and follow Inside the Cave on Twitter at Cave Crush. Inside the Cave. Thought-provoking ignorant guy talk with special guests and Cave Crush interviews.
Listen to Inside the Cave now on iHeartRadio for more thought-provoking ignorance. Listen to the Cleves Report with Ro now on iTunes. Got a problem? Need some advice? Send your questions and problems to Cat for Cat's Corner on Inside the Cave.
If any listeners want to send questions to Cat for our female host, send Inside the Cave podcast at gmail.com and address your questions to Cat's Corner. Can you hook us up, Sly, with the Cat's Corner?
Yeah, no doubt. This Cat's Corner is from Terrain. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Over a year ago, I did myself and my younger live-in girlfriend a favor by getting myself snipped. This was the most uncomfortable medical procedure I've been through other than getting a colonoscopy, but believed it would be worth it because I'm 53 and my son is 30.
No, my girl is 30.
My girl is 30, excuse me. I'm 53 and my girl is 30. This issue is my girl's, this issue is my girl is still on the pill. The issue is my girl is still on the pill. I asked her why is she on the pill. If I'm snipped, she said that's none of my business. I do remember my ex-wife putting my youngest daughter on birth control at a very early age, so I am aware of medical reasons women need birth control, but I don't believe this is the reason she's on it. What does the cave think? Okay, Cat, you might need to take a sip of the potion.
Well, I mean, no, this is pretty easy. What I dislike, I guess, as I get older about single older men is they do things preemptively, believing that their solution is the best solution. So one thing he never mentioned was if she wanted to have children, which is curious that he didn't mention that because he tells us that he went and got snipped because he has a younger girlfriend. He didn't mention their ages until after he mentioned he got a vasectomy, which tells me a lot about this letter because why would he do that and then question her birth control? Like, that should have been something you discussed before you went through the most painful experience of your life. You would think you would discuss birth control together and make that decision together. So I think that, there are 150,000 reasons why she would want to stay on the pill. One being just because she can control her period and she knows when it's coming. So it's not, that difficult. It's really just science. She may just not want to not have heavy periods, so she remains on the pill. So that was bogus of her when you asked her to not be straightforward with you. But I think that's your punishment for going to get a vasectomy without, I guess, understanding clearly what a 30-year-old woman wants to do. She's still relatively young. So that was kind of, a wrong move to me. But what do you guys think? I don't know.
What I think, two things jump out at me right now is that one, the man got a vasectomy because he didn't want to have any children, right? Or maybe he has enough and he doesn't want to have any children. But this is his live-in girlfriend. So it seems like that maybe having sex and maybe he's still required to use a condom, even if she's still on the pill. So he wants to go get the vasectomy in order to not have to use condom and for her to come out.
Condoms, it said birth control pills. It didn't say condom.
But I'm speaking from a man's perspective because it's only a couple reasons why a man is going to go get a vasectomy. He either doesn't want to have any more children, or he's comfortable with his girlfriend enough that he wants to have sex without a condom, and without the fear of getting her pregnant. So, with her not answering his question about why she's still on the pill, that's a tough one because at 30 years old, let me be CB for a minute, or not be CB. She's gonna fuck other people other than this 53-year-old man. Whether it's while she living with him, maybe not. But if she does, she's gonna make sure she doesn't get pregnant until she's damn well ready. I don't know if she has any children or not, but she's on the pill to control something. And when she's done controlling it, she's gonna have children with somebody. If it's him, he can't have any kids. So it's gonna be with somebody else.
Yeah, that's deep. I think that it says a lot in the beginning of the email about how he made the decision to get snipped. So he said, getting myself snipped, or did myself and my younger living girlfriend a favor. How did you figure that was a favor? If she's 30 years old and you didn't discuss whether or not y'all wanted kids, you left that part out. But it sounds like to me, being 53, you just went ahead and made the decision. Because that's what men do, especially an older man dealing with such a younger woman. That's number one. Then number two is I'm leaning towards Sly, and of course what CV would say, yeah, I think there's a large possibility that if she ain't slipping, you definitely don't trust her. And I think that that's a problem in itself, because there's one thing that I don't like, and even my wife will say this, you can't be with somebody you don't trust. And if you have to worry, then maybe you're not in the right relationship. So I think that and he might listen. I seen some 53s, some old heads, some 60, 70-year-old dudes on Instagram with their gray beards and their little muscles popping or whatever. But that doesn't mean they don't still have insecurities. And you messing with a woman, 23 years your junior, that has to weigh on your psyche a little bit, bruh. So you might as well go and chalk that up to an L, and either just go on ahead with the relationship with your mouth shut, or you might as well go and put her out and go and get you somebody else a little closer to your age. Because 53, I don't care how many Viagra's you take or whatever them pills that other lady was selling that came on, a pill doesn't help your psyche, your trust issues. You know what I mean? You could be laying it properly, but if you got a problem, it ain't her problem. is your problem. Because trust me, my wife is 8 years my junior, and I know how to, at the beginning of the relationship, that can kind of, mess with you. Well, damn, I got to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing so she ain't out there straying or somebody look good. You know what I mean? Like I said, the dude might be buffed or whatever, but it clearly he's having some doubts in his mind. And I think that's a him problem, not a her problem.
And man, that thing go both ways. That type of birth control go both ways. He could dip out and fuck with somebody else, and he making sure he's not getting somebody else knocked up. So I was assuming that he's in love and he's just gonna be with the one chick, but like he can go someplace else and do whatever he want to do and not have to worry about the kickback coming back either.
You know what's funny? Is that I was just sitting here thinking, and I could be wrong, and please chime in if you think I am. I believe that people who aren't cheating are the people who get blindsided by the cheating. You ever notice how when a nigga's cheating, he always accusing his girl of cheating?
Well, yeah, I forgot what it's called, but it's usually it's like a guilt type of thing.
Yeah. So, like, nigga, maybe he is slipping and dipping. That's why he like, hold on, what you doing, girl? You know what I'm saying? like he's asking her, why are you still taking control pills? He got a permanent birth control pill. Right? You know what I'm saying? He don't want to respect me. He got a permanent birth control joint. She could have been like, well, what the fuck you go get snipped for? We didn't even discuss that shit. And she could be taking, like Kat said, she could be taking it for the estrogen or whatever that shit is in the pill. I know women.
Like birth control has several different, like that's why, the whole Planned Parenthood thing, you can't really defund them in real life because like there are so many women who suffer from things that they have to take something to regulate their menstrual cycle. And of course, I know menstrual cycles are just like Rubik's cubes to men, but you can take a pill to help you with that. That should be taken into account is, communication. I'm always screaming it and saying it, but you have to talk to your mate because I get the impression that he did it thinking he was doing her a favor when it wasn't clearly communicated that maybe she just she wants to control her birth. Like, that's why women are on birth control. They want to control when that happens. So, I don't want to say it's because she's cheating. And even if she is, like, this seems to be common in many relationships. People, for some reason, need several people. So I do want to point out that, like, a vasectomy, birth control, doesn't do anything about diseases. And, while yeah, you could have a vasectomy, you can also catch, like, chlamydia. So, for safety reasons, I think monogamy is, if you're not going to be abstinent, a great way to have a healthy sexual relationship with a partner. But
now you going down my road, because that's the type of stuff because even last week's question, if you notice, I did not speak. I did not make any statements. I did not chime in because I was very bothered by there not being no monogamy. Like that, I'm real big on that. Like, I'm in the process right now of raising two virgins. One's 18, one's 16. Like I'm real big on that. And I just don't understand how we, in this day and age, how we are still so free sexually to do all types of things with all types of people. I've seen a big resurgence in threesome relationships, like, and people
polyamory. I was just about to say polyamory is real.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you, Kat.
Functional lives with more than one partner, and for some people that works. But again, there's monogamy in the 3. There's monogamy in the 5. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, vasectomies and birth control and all of these things that we try to use to control how we procreate. That's all it is. Because at the end of the day, if he does go out and cheat on her, or should she cheat on him, regardless of what birth control they're using, that's still pretty dangerous. So I don't mean to be the party pooper or the school nurse and like bring up the health hazards, but I'm just saying, like, you know, hopefully they're being safe about it. And like you said, it's a trust thing. It has nothing to do with her birth control and everything to do with the fact that now you're monitoring her birth control. She's been doing it for 30, well, at least for, 20 years, 12, 14 years. She's been doing it by herself. So she may not be like you and just ready to snip off her baby making parts. And you got to honor that too. That was a choice you made. She didn't have to be there for you to get a vasectomy. But ironically, in America, for instance, you have to have a spouse or a reason to get your tubes tied. After having my last child, I wanted to get my tubes tied, and my doctor kind of refused me. Like, she was like, no, you're too young. You still have a life. And I felt some kind of way, but the reality of it is, like, there is a stipulation on when women can say, you know what, tie them up. I don't want them anymore. And men can just go get vasectomies whenever. So I think, that's a little unfair.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, thanks, Kat. That was the last word in Kat's Corner. So our next segment is Tell the Truth.
Hey, ladies, it's time for To Tell the Truth. Ladies, let's talk about it with Sly on Inside the Cave.
Give it to us, Sly.
Well, I don't have any of the feedback from last week from the show, but okay. I do have a couple answers real quick from a couple ladies that from the Facebook group when the question was posed about
give us the question first and then give us the answer.
The question was, ladies, have you ever flashed a truck driver? And we got some feedback from the Facebook group, not emails. I don't have the emails. And some definitely jumped out and said, yes, I have in the summertime in the drop top from Amy, Tanja. One said, I don't have much to show up top, but they did see something else.
Oh.
So thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies that contributed in Facebook group to answering that question. We appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it because I'm damn sure a truck driver. And I appreciate those hot summer days when y'all wear y'all dresses and you're looking nice and pretty on a hot summer day. I definitely can appreciate the look. You definitely make me have a wonderful 8 hours of work. I appreciate that very much, ladies. Inside the podcast group at Facebook, Tell the Truth.
Good job, good job. Hey, you remember that song by Sir Mix-a-Lot, Put 'Em on the Glass?
Yes.
So she put something else on the glass, huh?
She had something else, She had something else. So, yeah.
She put some kitty on the glass. Lord.
Yeah. So next, I got something for next week. I don't know if you want to come back to it or you want to do the. What else we got? We got any more segments?
Yeah. We moving along, man. We moving along. We keeping it pushing. We got. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and try to give my poor man's version of the sports update.
The big sports update on Inside the Cave.
Ooh, one of my favorites.
So we're gonna leave the NBA. We're gonna keep it short. So we're gonna leave the NBA alone because don't nobody really watch basketball except for die-hard basketball fans before the All-Star break anyway. LeBron ain't even watching basketball and he playing. So let's go get into the games, man. So
how you feeling? How you feeling? I know you feeling something.
Listen, everybody knows I'm from the Dirty Bird, and I will say this, that I would rather lose to Jacksonville and get clowned for that than lose to New England again. because that's what's going to happen. See, I'm not one of them delusional fans that think my team's going to the Super Bowl every year. Man, we was going to run up in Foxborough and get the brakes beat off of us again. Some foolish. I don't understand what is going on. Me and CB had a nice talk about it as well, about how they calling for Tomlin's job, or should they be calling for Tomlin's job for stinking it up?
Well, he had that look on his face. Like he reminded me of Denzel Washington in the football movie, Remember the Titans?
No, you remember the Titans? Yeah.
Remember when he found out, like, if he lost the game or did anything, or something went wrong, he was out of there. Tomlin had that look on his face. He had that look on his face.
All right,
like man, he already knew. Like somebody told him, "Hey, you're gonna be out of here."
But before we get into predictions, we already know the Atlanta Philly game, that was uneventful. The Patriots Titans, that was uneventful. We just talked about the Steelers getting, slapped upside the head by Jacksonville. Tell me about this Saints Vikings game, man. What happened? What happened?
Damn, I can't hear you, man.
You lost me?
Yeah, I'm in and out. I got you now.
Okay. I said, tell me about that Saints Vikings game. What happened?
What? Ooh, first of all, that was an amazing game. And everybody that watched that game is gonna know exactly where they was at when they seen what happened. I've always said nothing matters but the last 2 minutes of any football game. So when it came down to these last fucking 2 minutes, that was the best show on earth. What can you say, man? Seconds left, less than 10 seconds left. Last play, literally the last play of the game. You wouldn't even think that my man was gonna throw this ball, catch it, and not get tackled. And
that was a walk-off. That was like a walk-off home run.
Man, a walk-off home run. That was like checkmate. King me and checkers. It was a spike in tennis. You know what I'm saying? It was a slap shot goal in hockey. You know what I'm saying? It was a goal for Madrid, Spain. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was a slam dunk, a baseline, alley-oop. It was unheard of, man. Tell me this.
Clyde, tell me this. Who's more to blame? The safety that didn't make the tackle, or the coaching staff for not telling him to make sure that he wraps up? Because that the safety was a rookie.
Man, he can't get an out on that one, man. You're a professional football player. Y'all been playing hard to come back all that time. I think he took it for granted that the game was over. And you always hear people say you play in between those lines for that full 60 minutes until the whistle blows, man. You play your game. Legally you play your game. I'm not saying put an illegal hit on them or anything like that. But what your position calls for. And if that play was the first quarter, you would have tackled him. What's the difference? What is the difference? I have to put that on the safety. He's not going to be on any box of Wheaties or be getting any sponsorships. Hell, if he wasn't a rookie, he might be getting traded straight up. He might be getting traded because that shit was devastating. After they came back and they was pretty much celebrating on the sidelines. New Orleans was celebrating. They had it in the bag. The 60,000 plus fans in Minnesota's new stadium was heartbroken. They had ripped the heart out of the Purple People Eaters, man. That Sea of Purple was devastated. And to come back, catch that ball, going into the end zone, man, I felt every bit of Diggs because he got traded from Chicago. So I felt Diggs when he took off his helmet and he held his arms out. He was like, "What else y'all want from me? What else do y'all want from us? What else?" It was a beautiful game, and New Orleans. They played an amazing game, also, man. But they got to give props to Minnesota's coaching staff, offense, and they got to salute Diggs. They definitely have to salute Diggs, the quarterback, whoever called that play, because they had ran that play probably either 2 plays before or the series before. They had ran that exact same play, So, and man, salute to those guys. Minnesota is strong. It'll be an amazing story if they end up playing the Super Bowl in their stadium this year.
So who you got then? Let's go NFC then. Vikings, Eagles. Who you got?
The Vikings are in my Bears conference. In the Bears conference, I stopped claiming the Bears a while back, but so I'm gonna ride this wave. On paper, it should be the Eagles. The Eagles should win, and they should be going to the Super Bowl. But I'm gonna take the Vikings.
So you going with your heart or your head?
Well, right now, neither one of them is my heart. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Vikings, and I'm gonna take them by 3. I'm gonna take the Vikings by 3 points.
Okay, all right. So Jags, Patriots.
Look, I was having this conversation with my father. He loves football. Pittsburgh is his team, and he was hurt. And I told him, no matter what, long as the Patriots are in the playoffs, you can put them into the championship round, and you just send them to the Super Bowl automatically. The only way the Patriots are not going to the Super Bowl if they decide in preseason that they don't want to go. Did you hear what I said? They got to decide.
No doubt. It makes you feel that way, though, man. It's funny.
They got to decide in preseason that they don't want to go to the Super Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Patriots season is. So I'm definitely gonna go with the Patriots and the Vikings in the Super Bowl. And overall, I would probably go with the Patriots. Patriots winning everything. What I noticed is that I don't think we got. There's no West Coast team, nothing West. Everything is on East Coast Central Standard Timeline.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. So Sly has the Patriots over the Vikings in the Super Bowl. We're gonna go ahead and mark that down. Check with your bookies, check with your corner hustler, and Sly has given the Super Bowl prediction. Well, we are actually in the championship round, but he said who's going to win the championship round and then who's going to win the Super Bowl. So we're going to hold him to that, because if he lose, we damn sure going to give him a kill yourself a start over.
Hey, man. Hey. I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with my picks. And you just can't count that damn Belichick and Tom Brady and them out, man. You just can't do it.
Yeah, because like you said, you got to pencil them in. I mean, they definitely got a shot. You got a shot. They got a shot. I mean, not we, but because even as a non-Patriot fan, I do respect greatness. And I remember Brady when he was at Michigan. He could barely get the starting job at Michigan when he was a senior. Because I'm a Michigan fan, and it's just funny to see how far he's come and just feeling slighted, and the mixture of Belichick and Brady. Nobody really knows who they want to give the credit to. It's like, do you give it to Brady? Do you give it to Belichick? Is it the system? Is it this? Is it that? Well, whatever it is, it's like a good-ass pot of gumbo. As long as that shit's in there, you know what I'm saying? It's tasting real good right now. So it's going to be interesting, though, if they lose, does everybody come back? But I think that people may look at it as a question of the problem being, if they lose, what happens? My idea is, if they win another one, what do they do? Because I just don't understand. If they win a 6, how you just don't... I don't care how much you want to play again. How you just don't walk like Jordan after he won the 6. Like, how you just don't walk off. Like, you're supposed to walk away. You know what I mean?
Man, they own to something, man. They are on to something.
But they can't win forever. This ends bad for everybody. You listen. It's like getting a big ass cake. You can't eat it all. You gonna get sick.
You right, but it's like that's the culture. You know, it's expected, man. It's expected. So they bringing in the young ones, and they teaching them. They breeding them. It seems like even when you get kicked off away from another team in the NFL, and somebody on the Patriots gives you a tryout, and you end up on the Patriots, you feel like you done made it. Like you done made it. Like you feel like you done got a championship ring already in training. In training camp. That's why I said, like, you got to. That's when they decide that they're not going to the Super Bowl in preseason, in training camp. Because when you go there, you already training at a Super Bowl level, at Super Bowl caliber level in training camp. The other teams are not, because they ain't been there. They don't have that culture. So you come in day one, and these veterans, the people that got the 2, 3, 4, 5 rings or whatever, they training hard, and you got to step your game up to be a part of it. And your practice, your training game, your focus game is on another level. And by the time it gets to week 16, you all locked and loaded, you locked in. And what happens in the Super Bowl with the Patriots, like they came back on Atlanta last Super Bowl. That's what happens.
Right. Man, good job on the sports wrap up. Hopefully this segment stays in, because I hope we did a good job. It's crazy. But now to the best part of the show. He's not here, but we gonna do it anyway. We gonna do it for Joe Dizzy. The Dirt Sheet.
Dirty headlines, nasty stories, freaky tales. It's time for the Dirt Sheets with Joe Dirt on Inside the Cave.
I got a Dirt Sheets, y'all. All right.
Go ahead. I can't wait to hear this shit.
A male tourist who chose to sunbathe in the nude on a public beach near Townsville on the northeast coast of Queensland is recovering from a serious injury to his genitals after being bitten by a seagull. According to the source at the clinic that treated him, he has completely lost one testicle, which exploded under pressure of the beak. The other testicle almost severed but remains hanging by a thread. Witnesses at Saunders Beach, a public nudist beach west of Townsville, say the man's undoing may have been applying sunscreen too liberally to his genitals.
Oh, what the fuck?
And that is the Dirt Sheets.
The Dirt Sheets by Joe Dirt.
Oh, damn. Hanging, one testicle. Oh, man, come on.
Crazy. I thought I'd give it a shot. Hopefully my fans ain't mad. That was my attempt at the Dirt Sheets.
They gonna have to give you a pass on that one. They might give you a pass on that one. They might have to give you.
I kept it a little clean.
Well, you could have went dirty because it's the Dirt Sheets. It's the Dirt Sheets. It's the Dirt Sheets. Well, I got something. Well, it ain't a dirt sheet, but I got something for my segment. It was just brought to my attention. I'm trying to do some research on it, but I don't know. Bro.
Okay, you gonna bring it next week?
No, I got it. Now have you paid attention? I don't want to say pay attention like that, but have you heard about these dolls?
Them sex dolls?
That's what I thought, right? Like a sex doll, but I guess they done took it a step further. And they like real life fake humans.
Yes, I see them. They're like made out of silicone and they look like real. I showed my wife on Instagram. I said, "Babe, look at this," and there was a chick with big old breasts and had the camel toe and everything. And I said, "That's a doll." She said, "What?"
and they in sex, they be in sex positions and everything. Like they can get in there. Oh Lord,
man, crazy man. Them dudes are some sick bastards.
So one young lady by the name of Candace said she hates the invention, and she hates these dolls. And the question is, so I asked her why she hates them, and she hates them because she thinks it gives men unreal expectations of having sex when they have sex with their woman or any woman at that point in time. You know, you got a woman that's gonna do whatever you say because you fucking a doll or lifelike doll type of shit, and you can talk to any type of way. So you're gonna expect a real woman to do that shit. So the question, the tell the truth question for this week is, ladies, can you see these real life fake human dolls causing you and your relationship to be ready at any and all times for your man? You know,
that's deep.
I don't know if anybody will have one of these dolls. It would be interesting to know if somebody knows somebody that has one or had any experience with one of them. Please send an email in or send us a inbox message, please, or tell us your story. But it would be really interesting because I don't have any research on this. I just found it funny as hell. I was like, who's ordering a lifelike doll to their house?
Man, that is crazy. And I think on that note, man, we gonna get up out of here. So in the illustrious words of Big Dog, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch your ass next week.
Catch your ass next week. Yep,
the Cleves version. Inside the Cave.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave now brings you the official store to get all things Cave Crush and Inside the Cave at cavecrushshop.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cave Crush and like our Facebook page, Cave Crush Shop.
Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. You're on the #1 show, Inside the Cave.
3 Lee Films.